Welcome to the CEO of Destiny podcast, where you will find the tools to fulfill the purpose of your generation and wildly succeed in the marketplace. And now your host, Andre J. Benjamin.
It hits you, and then what makes you turn to say, this is a problem?
I mean, it was like in the back of your mind, it's like bad for you, but like, do you care much? No, not really, especially when you're in college and you're drunk at a party or whatever. But, it became a problem when, people, myself included, tried to quit and it was hard. And I was like, whoops, I got addicted. And I feel like that's what happened with a lot of people. It's like, whoops, I didn't really know this was happening, but it happened and I'm here now. How do I get rid of this? And there's no product on the market to help you quit vaping.
Wow.
There was no product, right? So I saw a massive opportunity. And not only that, like I asked my roommate, his name was Landon, religious vapor. I think still to this day. I'd have to ask him, but I was like, yo, how many times do you think you hit that vape every day? And he said to me, I have no clue. And I was like, bingo, like, okay. A majority of people have no idea how much they're smoking. Like, they don't even know what they're doing to their bodies. Like, let me make an app that helps people quit. And the way that I'm going to do that is open people's minds to how much they're smoking. So that's when I came up with Puff Count. It tracks exactly how much you smoke every day. And people are blown away. Like, they think they hit their vape like 50 times a day. No, it's more like 300. And the amount, it's crazy. And like,
why is it? Because it's so subtle that they don't like, meaning when you're doing it, you don't know, you don't realize it's so subtle.
It's the nicotine addiction and it's the oral fixation and it's doing this, people just do it mindlessly. It's crazy. And if you think about like tracking it and tracking your puffs, like you become aware to how much you're doing it, which is why Puff Count is effective, right? Because it makes you think about every time you're smoking.
Absolutely.
Right. And not only that, you can track like how much nicotine you're intaking as well. Like on these vape packages, it says 5% nicotine. And in the grand scheme of things, out of 100, 5% seems really small. But in reality, that's 50 milligrams per milliliter of juice, I believe it is, which is an insane amount of nicotine. Like, oftentimes people who vape, because they hit their vapes so often, they're intaking more nicotine than they would smoking cigarettes.
Wow, because it's less, so it's more, because of its subtlety, you actually end up doing more than less. Because the whole idea, like you said, because that's even the way I think it was originally pitched, was that we thought it was a way for people to get off cigarettes. So when I would see somebody doing it, I'm like, oh, this is just kind of like the Nicorette patch. This is an opportunity for them to get off. And you're saying young people, they didn't even have cigarettes. It was just this. And since this is so addictive, they're actually consuming more than they would through packs of cigarettes.
100%. And like each individual cigarette, sure, is stronger than most vapes, right? But the vapes were built to get people off cigarettes. So the vapes themselves are very strong. Like 5% is not a nicotine percentage that if you're getting on nicotine for the first time, you need to be doing. Like the first time you hit a 5% Juul pod, I remember it. I was like, it like domed me. Like I got so, what's the word? Buzzed.
Yes.
Like you get so like
buzz immediately.
Yeah, there's no reason that a young kid smoking nicotine for the first time needs to be on a 5% pod, but that's the base. That's like the average vape strength in nicotine. It's insane, but it makes sense because vapes are built to get people off cigarettes, right? So they need to be strong in order to get rid of that craving.
Yeah.
But if you're smoking,
it's supposed to be condensed, but it didn't work. It didn't work. It has a reverse effect for those that have never experienced the starter pack of cigarettes, but are now just doing this for the first time. And this is becoming, as you say, addictive in its habit formation. What makes Steven start going to work on it? And when you hit your own bottom, so talk about a little bit about your bottom and what made you be like, all right, I'm off of this. I need to get free from this. I'm about to do something different.
Well, yeah, I was playing soccer, and it was like killing my lungs when I was running and stuff. I was like, okay, this is a problem. And it was really a problem when I tried to quit, and I like really was struggling with that. Because in college, I wasn't the best student, as we spoke about, and school stressed me out. So, the vaping was a coping mechanism for that. But
As probably for many people. So I imagine it probably exponentially blew up during the last couple of years because of all the stuff that's happened.
100%. And like the thing about nicotine, which it tricks your brain, because like nicotine will oftentimes enhance those feelings of anxiety, whatever it may be. And you think you're getting rid of it, but no, like you're just, that's the withdrawals hitting you and you're getting rid of the withdrawals, right? So it's a vicious cycle. And I was going through that. And so were a lot of my friends. So, you know, I saw a big opportunity. I didn't really have a plan. I was just kind of like, let's go, let's ship it, let's make a product. And it happened. I built.
What kind of feedback are you getting back from people and how it's helping them, and how does that make you feel?
So a majority, it's overwhelmingly positive feedback. You know, people get the mission. It makes sense. The app itself makes sense. Like tracking your puffs, cutting back slowly is an easy thing to wrap your head around. The main friction point right now, which I'm working through, is, you know, making it a lot easier for people to track how much they vape. Because right now you got to open the app manually, you know, log your puffs, which is, it's good and it's bad. It's like, it's good because it makes you think about every time you smoke, but it's bad because a lot of people don't have time for that, right?
Yeah, you're saying that a lot of people have that internal drive to say, all right, I'm about to puff. You're saying, how can they do it? How can you count it in a non-manual way that gets it? Are you thinking in terms of like utilizing some sort of artificial intelligence or something? Or
I wish I could tell you, but you'll be the first to know when I launch it.
Yeah, I feel you. So talk about when you saw the surge with Wordle, as much as you can talk about it, and then talk about how you gave back in the city of Oakland, I believe.
100%. Yeah, so Wordle, like I said, I built it in high school, kind of let it go. Didn't market it for the past like 6 years. It just sat in my developer account. And then I was actually back home in Atlanta this past Christmas visiting my family, and I hadn't checked my app developer dashboard in a couple of days, which I usually check it every day just to see what's going on. And I logged in and my downloads graph went like that. And for Wordle, and I was like, like these have to be fake downloads. Like someone's messing with me. Someone, you know, these are bot downloads. This isn't real. And I click over to the sales tab and I have sales on the Wordle app. So I'm like, okay, well, these aren't fake. People are buying stuff. And I was like, all right, I need to see what's going on. So I Google Wordle, right? First article that shows up is in New York Times. The headline is "Wordle is a love story," and I'm like, what? They can't be talking about like the world that I built 6 years ago. There's no way. So I click into the article, come to find out that this guy named Josh built a web application game called Wordle, and it was only on the browser, right? It was only on browser, and these articles didn't clearly specify that. So naturally, people go to the app store to find a game, right? And lo and behold,
of the net with the same name.
Lo and behold, my Wordle shows up. It's also a word game, pretty similar. And so, you know, people started downloading mine and playing mine. So I reached out to Josh that instant. You can go back in my Twitter and see the original tweet where I reached out to him early December. And I was like, hey, man, you know, at the time, my Wordle only had 100,000 downloads. I reached out to Josh on Twitter. I tweeted at him, hey, man, the virality of your game is sending traffic to mine. I'm making a decent amount of money. I'd love to do something cool and donate this. Little did I know how crazy this would turn out. But we kind of agreed then and there to donate it. We went back and forth and came up with this charity called Boost Oakland, located in Oakland. And, you know, it was an amazing opportunity to be able to go there in person and donate. It's an after school program for young kids.
Why was that important to you to actually donate it? What made you think in terms of, I want to, you know, invest in this manner?
Yeah, again, going back, sorry, I have a hard stop in a couple minutes here. I need to hop off, but again, going back to my childhood and being raised, you know, as a Christian, going to retreats and stuff, like, or mission trips, and, you know, my parents raised me well. Like, it was just, it wasn't a conscious decision. I was like, okay, this is happening. This is insane. How can I do something cool? Because, you know, obviously, like, sure, I built the app. It's my app. I have all the right to, keep the revenue, but like at the same time, like this is such a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm clearly being blessed here. How can I give back? How can I make the most of this situation? And my first thought was just reach out to Josh and be like, yo, let's donate it. Let's do something cool. And, I think I've been blessed with the opportunity to have like this platform and be able to speak and encourage people to do that and take bets on themselves.
I love it. I love the faith, how faith played the component to make you invest in others. Last question would be, where can people find what you're working on currently? Because the puff count sounds tremendously important and dear to your heart. And how can they promote it out? And then where can they find you at all places and kind of, any resources you think might be beneficial for people?
100%. Best way to stay in touch with me is on my Twitter and my Instagram. It's just at Stephen Cravotta, my first and last name. Follow me on Twitter. I'm always tweeting about, what I'm working on, what my thoughts are about what's going on in the world. So hit me up there.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for investing in the next generation. And thank you for inspiring people to actually take hold of their destiny and to give thanks where thanks is due to both your parents. Love to see young people doing that. That's a rarity. And I know you're probably like, life's not a crystal stair, but you honoring your parents is massive. And then also you honoring God in this manner is tremendous. So thank you for your time. And that's the show today. Go ahead and find him. That's Stephen Cravotta on all areas. That's his handle. Get him on Twitter, get him on IG. Look forward to what he'll be working on in the future. Thanks, Stephen.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, Andre. Hopefully I get to interview you next time because I'm curious. I have a bunch of questions to ask you.
We'll follow up, man. It's good hearing from you. Thanks. Take care.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Do us a favor. If this was useful in any way for you, please go to iTunes and leave us a review. Reviews will allow others to easily discover the podcast. If you'd like more information and to receive a free download, Rediscover Your Destiny, go to ceoofdestiny.com. Thanks again, and tune in next time.